Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League broadcast. We have the Coconut Creek X team here facing off against the West Palm Beach Iguanas. The X team 3-4 in the South Division, 3.5 back from the leaders, the West Boca Snappers, and the Iguanas 2-8 in the North Division, 6.5 back from the Palm Beach Extreme. The Palm Beach Extreme is the only undefeated team in the North Division right now, but we've got the X team, the Iguanas. First pitch will be underway in just minutes. We're here at Kaiser University, home of the Seahawks at Sylvester Field in West Palm Beach, Florida. On the hill for the Iguanas is Logan Butler. Butler, a righty. He throws a fastball, slider, and curveball. So Butler on the hill and Lopez receiving for the X team, leading things off. Descala, the center fielder, will step up to the box. First pitch, and that'll just miss low. So we're underway here in West Palm Beach, Florida. The X team visiting the Iguanas here today. The X team wearing their black tops. They're outlined in blue. I wouldn't say powder blue, but almost like an ocean blue that you have a swing and a miss with white lettering, white numbers. Gray pants. The Iguanas wearing their green tops, highlighted and outlined with yellow, and also gray bottoms here today. Next pitch, that'll miss. Low and inside. 2-1 is the count to Descala. Following Descala, the center fielder, is the third baseman, Rovetto. Then it's Bishop, the shortstop, batting in the third slot. Haslam will play first base for the X team here today. Ground ball right side, waiting on it is Romero. Easy throw to first, and there's one away. So Descalo grounds out to second for the first out of the ball game here. We're on the top of the first. Thank you so much for joining us here on the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League Game of the Day. Rovetto will step in. He'll bat from the right side. That's the third baseman. After him is Bishop. As we mentioned, strike delivered. Haslam is in the cleanup spot. Potter will bat fifth. He's the extra hitter. The catcher today for the X team is Arnold. He'll bat in the sixth slot. Batting seventh is the right fielder, Harrison. Here comes the pitch at the knee strike. The second baseman, Feebles, he'll bat in the eighth spot. Batting ninth is the designated hitter, Billisey. And then batting 10th is Milo, the left fielder. One down, pitch delivered. That'll miss low and away. Sunny skies here at Kaiser University. We're in West Palm Beach, Florida. We do have some clouds, and we're enjoying having those white, fluffy clouds as they shade some of the sunshine. But boy, it is humid and hot here today. So early, 10 o'clock, first pitch. Last pitch going into the screen behind home plate. So for the X team, it's Descala, Rovetto, Bishop, Haslam, Potter, Arnold as the ball gets away from the catcher. Harrison, Feebles, Billisey, and Milo. Head coach and coach in third base for the X team is Dusty Snyder. Just 23 years of age, and he says he's learning and trying to teach these kids and, keep them in line the best that he can. Jokingly talking about, as far as them giving him a headache already. Just coming off his own coaching experience and playing experience himself. Played at the University of South Florida. Butler on the hill delivers the next pitch, and that'll go out of play. We mentioned that Butler, he throws in the mid-80s, fastball, also has a slider and a changeup. This is his third start of the season here for the Iguanas. He does pitch for Kaiser, a senior. Next pitch inside, and that'll miss. Lopez catching today for the Iguanas. Bentley at first, Romero at second. Hernandez at short, gets at third base. From left to right in the outfield, it's Rodriguez, Pozo, Nunez, and Colon. One down, Butler working on Rovetto. He'll ground it Hot shot to Getz, who can't hang on to it. It'll shoot out into left field, so that'll put Rivetto aboard with one out. That's why it's called the hot corner, as those balls come quickly off a righty's bat. Getz was right there, but not able to get it in his glove completely. So Rodriguez Pozo is backing him up out in left field. And Rivetto is at first base safely with one down, and that'll bring up Bishop, the shortstop. Bishop with a two-tone bat that matches perfectly his uniform, with the blue color on top and the black handle. Pitch delivered. Again on the ground, past the diving Getz into left, waving Rivetto around second to third and telling him to go all the way home. And he has to get around the umpire who's in the base pass, and he does make it home safely. So Rivetto will score off the bat of Bishop, and that will put the X team on top here in the top of the first, 1-0. So now, instead of Rivetto scoring, he will have to go back to third base. That's a double for Bishop at second. Ball got stuck out there in left field, so that keeps the runner at third right now. But two in scoring position for the X team with Haslam at the plate. First pitch, that'll miss inside low. You can hear the birds chirping behind me. Here's the pitch, and that's a strike. 1-1 is the count. One out, two on here for the X team. The next pitch, hit hard once again to the third base side. Getz has it, but then loses it. The run will score here. It'll be Rivetto first, and then Bishop has the clear path to score. So two on the board for the X team here in the top of the first. That's off the bat of Haslam. That'll bring up the extra hitter, the number 5 hitter in the lineup for the X team. Braden Potter at the plate. He'll bat from the left side facing the righty Butler. One on at first. There goes the runner. The throw going down to second. Tag applied, not in time, as Haslam sneaks in and picks up the stolen base here with one out. So Haslam puts himself in scoring position. Good throw by Lopez down to second, but Haslam had a great jump, and he just snuck in right under the tag. Potter at the plate. Here comes the pitch. That'll come back into the screen behind home plate. Butler looks the runner back, then delivers, goes outside, missing. Beautiful day here at the ballpark. We're starting early, 10 o'clock first pitch. On the ground, off the glove of Bentley, backing him up as the second baseman. Throw to first is errant. It goes through and comes all the way to home plate, and the catcher, Lopez, has to track it down by the backstop. Everybody's running, but Haslam will be held up at third base by the third base coach, the head coach, Dusty Snyder. And with that errant throw, Potter advances to second base. That'll bring up Michael Arnold, the catcher for the X team. He'll bat in the sixth slot. Runners at second and third. Two have scored for the X team, only one out. Inside at the knee, strike. 0-1 on Arnold. Next pitch, fly ball into center field. Incoming is Nunez. He'll make the catch, throw home, trying to get the runner scoring, but safely. And then the throw going to third base and safe. Everybody's safe as Haslam scores. That makes it a 3-0 ball game. Potter moves and advances on the throw. Actually, he's out at third base. Sacrifice fly is out number 2, and he didn't tag up, so he is out as the runner, or. But we'll square it all up and come back right after this as we head to the home half of the first here from Kaiser University in West Palm Beach, Florida. Welcome back. Today's game is being sponsored by MD Now. That's MD Now. The Palm Beach County Sports Commission attracts sporting events and activities to Palm Beach County to enhance tourism and business, as well as promote sports across the Palm Beach community. The PBCSC provides venues to promote the image of Palm Beach County as a top sports destination in the country. Thank you, Palm Beach County Sports Commission. So we are back here at Kaiser University, Sylvester Field in West Palm Beach, Florida. Iguanas and Coconut Creek, the X team. The X team coming in to play the West Palm Beach Iguanas, and we straightened it all up in the top of the first. A lot of throws, couple of errors and things happening, but the runner at third base did not tag up, so he was out and did not score. That's Haslam that did not score. So a 2-0 ball game right now in favor of the X team as we are in the bottom of the first. Freeman at the plate, the extra hitter for the Iguanas. So Morrison is on the hill right now for Coconut Creek. Receiving him is Arnold. Haslam is at first base. Grounder, right side. Eaten up by Feebles, who will throw over to first base in time, and Freeman is retired. Very similar to how the X team started off the game, as with a ground out to second base. We'll see if the Iguanas follow the X team and put a couple on the board here in the first. Romero will step up to the plate, the second baseman. First pitch, that'll go out of play left side. So the defense behind Morrison, as we said, Arnold is receiving. Haslam at first, Feebles at second, Bishop at short, and Rovetto at third base. From left to right in the outfield, well, it's Milo, Descala, and Harrison. Another foul ball out of play left side. Off the bat of Romero here, the second baseman. Next pitch inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So for the Iguanas, Freeman is the leadoff hitter today for the West Palm Beach Iguanas. And then it's Romero, who's at the plate right now. Foul ball right side. Then it's Rodriguez batting in the third slot. He's the designated hitter for the Iguanas here today. The third baseman Getz is batting cleanup. The catcher Lopez is in the fifth slot. Batting sixth for the Iguanas, the left fielder Rodriguez Pozo, as the ball sails outside on Romero. 7, 8, 9, and 10, the second baseman Bentley, the shortstop Hernandez, the center fielder Nunez, and the right fielder Colon. Here comes the pitch. That'll miss upstairs, and Romero will take off his gear and head to first base. He'll take the walk with 1 out, and that'll bring up a Rodriguez, the designated hitter. So Freeman, Romero, Rodriguez, Getz, Lopez, Rodriguez Pozo, Bentley, Hernandez, Nunez, and Colon for the Iguanas here today. Fly ball, that'll go into right field. Calling off the second baseman who goes out to short right is Harrison. He doesn't have to move very much, and he'll make the grab, and that'll keep Romero at first base. So 2 retired for the Iguanas, and that'll bring up Getz. Morrison is a fastball, slider, and changeup pitcher. Has a 2-seamer and a 4-seamer. This is his third appearance of the season here in the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League. Two away, 1 on for the Iguanas. That's Romero. He's taking a big lead at first base. He walked his way on. First pitch, that'll miss. 1 ball, no strikes to Getz. Next pitch, fouled off, hits the backstop. Alex Getz is at the plate. He's from Merritt Island, Florida. The sophomore is also a Kaiser University product. Home field, playing at home right here for Getz. He's got to feel very comfortable at the plate and on the diamond here. The next pitch, off the end of the bat into the screen. Quite a few Kaiser University players on the Iguanas. Mostly freshmen and sophomores, so high schoolers that are coming in to play for the first time in college with Kaiser, and then sophomores that didn't get a lot of time their freshman year. Stolen base by Romero. A lot of dust getting kicked up. It is so hot and dry here. We are inside the press box, so we're not getting any breeze, but I don't think there's much of a breeze outside. And everyone's trying to find the shade, too. You would think early morning, cool morning. No, it's hot, it's humid. We're just dripping with sweat right here in the press box, even with the little air conditioner going. Two down, 1 at second right now as Romero stole his way to second base. He's in scoring position for the Iguanas. Morrison checks, looks the runner back, delivers, swing and a miss. That'll do it. That'll leave Romero stranded at second base as Getz strikes out for the Iguanas. So no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on. We'll head to the top of the second here from West Palm Beach, Florida at Kaiser University. You're listening to the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League at Marriott Spring Hill and Town Place Suites. We know that part of a great vacation is the peace of mind that comes from a great hotel. That's why we're able to and dedicated to provide an experience that stands above the rest. Whether it be our comfortable beds, poolside relaxation, or our courteous staff, we ensure you will get the best out of us so that you can enjoy your travels with ease. Marriott Spring Hill and Town Place Suites, the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League's preferred hotel providers. Welcome back to the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League. Our broadcast, our game of the day is the Coconut Creek X team playing the West Palm Beach Iguanas here in West Palm Beach, Florida at Kaiser University. First up to the plate is Harrison for the X team. He shows bunt. It goes foul down the third base line. So Harrison will return back to the box. Harrison, Feebles, and Billisey are due up this inning for the X team. The right fielder batting from the right side takes a couple of practice swings and steps back in the box after wiping the sweat off with his left elbow. Everybody is sweating here, but it's a great day to play a baseball game. Swing and a miss, 0-2 on Harrison. 2-0 X team lead. We're in the second. They scored 2 in the top of the second. Pitch delivered, that'll miss away. The X team actually had the opportunity to have another run on the board, but a runner did not tag up Haslam on a fly ball to center field, and that was the third out, and the run did not score there. Ball hit down the third base line into left. It'll get stuck out there in left field as the left fielder, Rodriguez Pozo, holding his hands up, and that'll put Harrison at second base. Austin Feebles will step up to the plate, the second baseman. Righty-righty matchup. Pitch delivered, showing bunt once again. This is a nice one down the first base line, but stays really close to the batter's box. The catcher Lopez gets it, throws over to first in time, but the sac bunt allows Harrison to scoot on over to third base. So nicely played by Lopez, but a nice bunt laid down by Feebles as he just placed it right outside the box, and it hit some grass stuck there. Lopez quickly got his mask off, and this ball is swatted foul down the third base line. That almost acted like a bunt that way as Billisey is jammed. Billisey at the plate, the designated hitter. But a nice sacrifice bunt laid down by the second baseman for the X team. And there's one away. Harrison at third base. Next pitch goes low and away. Billisey at the plate from Hollywood, Florida, freshman at the University of Tampa. Here comes the next pitch off the end of the bat to the right side, fielded on one knee by the first baseman, Bentley, but that'll be enough for Harrison to cross the plate and put another run on the board for the X team. So now the X team is up 3-0 here in the second with 2 outs. So a productive ground out by the designated hitter, Billisey, as he pushes Harrison across the plate and tacks on another run for the X team. That'll bring up the left fielder, Milo. Actually, that's Devin Mila. Trying to read some of the lineups here, and now we've got that squared away. So Devin Mila from Davie, Florida, freshman out of Westminster College. Left fielder for the X team today. Righty-righty matchup. Butler kicks as he sets at the chest. Ground ball, weak ground ball, slow roller to Hernandez. And he handles it well as he jumps up after waiting on that ball and throws quickly over to first base to get Milo, the left fielder, speeds down the line. So 1 run crosses the plate here for the X team on just 1 hit, no errors, and none left on. We'll head to the bottom of the second, the home half. 3-0 lead for the X team over the Iguanas. You're listening to the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League. Do not let injuries slow you down. MD now has over 110 locations across the state of Florida and centers in 20 different states. You'll get the best care from our award-winning physicians to get you back on your feet, whether it's a fastball to the head or any injury that comes your way. When you need help, you want MD Now's consistent and fast care. Thank you, MD Now, for taking care of the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League athletes and families. Welcome back. We are in the home half of the second. Due up for the Iguanas. It's Lopez, Rodriguez, Pozo, and Bentley. Juan Lopez, the catcher, steps in. Slightly open stance as Morrison delivers. He'll go low and away and miss. 1 ball and no strikes. Lopez has a red batting helmet on as he'll go after the next pitch and hit it out of play. Iguanas have these nice green, you imagine green when you think of iguanas, right? So the green tops looks like even a little bit of the way they scaled it on the shoulders to be the iguana scales as the yellow fades away. Yellow striping, piping on the sides, up the shoulders and arms. Here comes the pitch, and that'll miss inside. Numbers are in green, but outlined with that yellow piping. Morrison delivers. He'll miss inside, so Lopez will head to first base with the free pass, and that'll bring up the left fielder, Lorenzo Rodriguez Pozo. I had a good chat with Lorenzo before the game. He is from Orlando, Florida, freshman finished his freshman season, I believe, up at CCBC Essex, and that's in the Baltimore County area, Baltimore, Maryland. And I talked to him just about how, was it to play baseball in colder weather since he grew up here and in the Orlando area. There's the pitch, and needing some help, but Lorenzo steps back in. He's got a straight up and down stance. Likes to have his black bat way behind his left shoulder, touching his back as he awaits the pitch. So we talked about it, and he said he has seen snow before, but never a snowstorm. And that's what he witnessed up at school this year, was a big snowstorm. The pitch inside, and he'll give it a ride into center field on the run to his left and making the grab as Descala out there in center field. So Rodriguez Pozo, one of the most imposing hitters here for the Iguanas, is retired as he lines out to center. There's one down. But Lorenzo talked about, just wearing 3 layers of clothes as Holton Bentley comes up to the plate. Having in the outfield, he's out there doing jumping jacks, running in place, and has some hand warmers just to keep warm out in the outfield. As the throw going down to second base, head first slide, and safely sliding into second is Lopez. So another stolen base here for the Iguanas, as Romero picked up one in the first and Lopez here in the second. One away, Bentley at the plate. The second baseman, Hernandez, is on deck for the Iguanas. Throw back again, trying to check that runner who's taken a big lead. That's Lopez. He'll have to slide head first, get dirty, as his gray pants are now pretty much brown. Safely back. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. Morrison, in his first inning of work, walked one and struck out one, gave up no hits. No hits here yet in the second either. The next pitch outside, taking something off of it, and he'll get Bentley to swing and miss. So that's the second swinging strikeout for Morrison here today, and that will bring up Alan Hernandez, the shortstop. Hernandez from Boca Raton, Florida, the sophomore at Caldwell University. Both teams fairly young. A lot of freshmen, incoming high school players that will be freshmen in the fall, and those that are sophomores too. The oldest on the team is a senior at Kaiser, and that's Corey Jordan for the Iguanas. Ground ball backhanded by Bishop. He flips it up to his throwing hand, throws to first, dropped by the first baseman, and heads up play. Lopez gets to third base and then dives in safely, slides in safely, and scores. So safe at first base is Hernandez. Lopez heads up as he gets the green light to take home, and he does. The Iguanas on the board for the first time. So it's a 3-1 ball game now in favor of the X team, but the Iguanas making things happen here in the second. Aggressive on the base pass after stealing a bag. Lopez heads up, scores on the miscue, and the throw to first base. Here comes the pitch, swing and a miss, throw down to second. And tagged out at second base is Hernandez for out number 3. Great throw by Arnold, the catcher. And nice tag applied as Hernandez chose not to slide. So he is out. Caught stealing at second. The Iguanas pick up one, though, here in the second. They trail by 2. It's a 3-1 lead for the X team as we head to the top of the third from West Palm Beach, Florida. You're listening to the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League. Do not let injuries slow you down. MD Now has over 110 locations. They are our game sponsor here today. Signs, t-shirts, hats, and more. Delray's finest signs and graphics has you covered for your special events. And Delray's Finest Signs provides the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League with banners, team merchandise, and more for our opening day, All-Star Game, playoffs, and all of our big events. And they will do the same for you. Lola and her team, located in the heart of Palm Beach community, will have your design and graphics needs met. For all your design needs, go to dfsgraphics.com. That's dfsgraphics.com. Welcome back to sunny South Florida. Back up to the top of the order for the X team. It's Chris Descala at the plate, the center fielder. Rovetto Bishop all due up after Descala. Butler on the hill delivers first pitch. That'll miss low and that'll miss low and just missing a little bit on the outside part of the plate. X team coming in 3-4 in their division, looking for that fourth win of the season, 3-5 overall. Next pitch, strike as it catches the outside part of the plate. So Descala actually not strike number 3. So Descala, he was headed back to the dugout, will get back into the box. Here comes the next pitch. He hits it on the ground, weakly to the first baseman. He'll field it himself. And Bentley takes first base. So Descala is retired, one away as the center fielder grounds out to first. That'll bring up the third baseman, Rocco Rovetto. Rovetto singled back in the first. He's 1 for 1 today. Scored a run for the X team, the first run of the ball game for Coconut Creek. Breaking ball inside, that'll miss on Rovetto. 1 ball and no strikes to the third baseman. Here comes the next pitch. That ball's up in the air to the left side, racing after it all the way to the track. It'll hop, hit the fence, playing it off the wall is Rodriguez Pozo, but that'll be a stand-up double for Rovetto. He crushed that ball, and sometimes it seems like these balls fly out easily, too, here at Kaiser University. So Rovetto, he's finding the fence just a few more inches, and that ball would have been over right by the Seahawks baseball sign on the left side of the diamond. So Rovetto, a stand-up double with 1 out. And that'll bring up the shortstop Bishop. Showing bunt, but the ball comes inside on Bishop, and it'll hit him. He'll hit the deck. Bishop on his right hand, it looks like that he might have been hit. He's just shaking his hand, but it'll come in as a strike because it also hit the batter. He swung at it with the bunt. So jammed there and not a good feeling, but Bishop back in the box, runner at second, swing and a miss. So he's got 2 strikes on him, nothing and 2 on Bishop, and he's in pain too. John Scott Bishop from Cooper City, Florida, the freshman out of Eastern University. Popped up, going into foul territory behind the plate. Running down to first base is Bishop. Advancing to third is Rovetto. So a drop third strike, and Bishop was able to get to first base safely as the ball got away from Lopez, headed all the way to the backstop here. And that'll bring up Haslam. Throw to first base, checking the runner Bishop. He slides back. Runners at the corners now for the X team. The pitch delivered to Haslam, and that's a strike right at the knees. Nice off-speed pitch delivered by Butler. Has Haslam thinking there in the box. He's got a black bat high above his head. Throw again over to first base. Bishop back quickly, so Josiah Haslam is at the plate. From Southwest Ranches, Florida. The freshman out of Lake Sumter State College. Next pitch, and he'll send it out of play to the right side. The X team scored 2 in the first, 1 in the third. They've got the 3-1 lead. Working on some more runs here in the third with only 1 out. Runners at the corners for the X team. Here comes the pitch, and that'll miss, low and away. Another breaking ball. Haslam held back. Home plate umpire getting a little help. We've got 2 umpires here. 2 umpires every game. 1 and 2 is the count. 1 behind home plate and 1 on the base pass. They've got a lot of work to do out here for the games with only 2 umpires. Another breaking ball, curveball inside. That'll miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Haslam. Potter is on deck. There's only 1 away with 2 on. Now for the X team at first and third, both getting a nice jump, especially Rivetto at third base. Ball is put up into the air, into left field. Incoming is Rodriguez Pozo. He will drop the ball. There's so much sun, it's hard to see. He had to make a long run in, and the throw to second will get the runner at second base. So safe at first is Haslam. Rivetto has time to cross the plate as the ball is dropped. Throw goes to second, and Bishop is out at second base. So even with the drop ball in left field, heads up play to throw to second and get the second out at second base. But the run does count, and the X team now have 4 runs on the scoreboard. That'll bring up the lefty, the extra hitter, Braden Potter. Potter at the plate, 1 on. That's Haslam. He's on because Rodriguez Pozo dropped the ball in left field. That was a tough play. He was running in, going to his left. Had to keep an eye on the runners and also the sun just right in his eyes. There goes the runner, the throw down to second base, and the throw pops out of the glove of the shortstop because the throw beat Haslam, but then the ball came out of the glove of Hernandez, backing him up as Romero, so Haslam staying at second. But Haslam could have been out right there at second, but the ball popping out of the glove of Hernandez enables Haslam to take second base. Nice throw by Lopez. Hit hard on the ground. Bentley down to one knee. Ball pops out, but he's right there on the bag. Steps on it, gets the ball, and Potter is retired as he grounds out to first base. So 1 left on here for the X team. 1 crosses the plate, and Coconut Creek continues to lead as we head to the home half of the third. They have 4 on the board. It's a 4-1 ball game in favor of the visiting X team. You're listening to the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League. The law offices of Sala, Esterita, Cox offers their clients the best experience in areas of securities enforcement, regulation and arbitration and litigation. James Sala and his team of expert attorneys provide individualized attention with your white-collar crime cases. SAC has law offices available in Boca Raton, as well as in New Jersey and New York. Call 561-989-9080. Sala, Asterita, Cox, your go-to representation for white-collar troubles. Top of the fourth, Arnold, Harrison, and Feebles for the X team. Arnold, base hit to lead things off for the X team here in the top of the fourth. He hit that ball up the middle, so Arnold aboard, the catcher for the X team. At the plate, lefty Harrison, the right fielder, he doubled and scored in the second. Butler on the hill. First pitch, ground ball to the second baseman. Looks over and glances, thought about maybe throwing to second, but goes to first for the easy play and the definite out. So Harrison grounds out to second, advancing Arnold to second base on the play. Feebles, the second baseman, sacrifice bunt back in the second. That brought in and, well, that helped advance Harrison on the base pass. Harrison later scored. Feebles at the plate, another lefty. Butler going after him, inside missing. 1 ball, no strikes. Arnold in scoring position now for the X team. That's Michael Arnold from Miami, Florida. Sophomore out of Nova Southeastern. Next pitch, strike. Breaking ball, throw down to third base. Good throw, beats the runner, tag applied, and Arnold is caught stealing out at third base. So a great job by Lopez to get, and Lopez gets Arnold out at third base. So there's 2 away. Really good throws by both of these catchers here on both sides, Lopez and Arnold. Good arms and really getting the balls to the bases as quickly as possible. There are some stolen bases here today on both sides, but overall, just really good throws by the catchers. Feebles heads to first base. He'll walk with 2 outs. And that'll bring up the number 9 hitter. We have 10 in the lineup here in the Florida or South Florida Collegiate Baseball League. The number 9 hitter is Joey Billisey, the designated hitter who grounded out and drove in Harrison back in the second. Runner going, there goes the throw to second, shortstop there. The ball gets by the shortstop though and actually rolls out to left field. That Rodriguez Pozo is there to back up, and that'll advance Feebles all the way to third base then as the ball popping out of the glove of Hernandez. Just as I was speaking of how the catchers were doing such a great job with the throws. Still a good throw. That was low and right at the bag. Just, I think Hernandez didn't maybe get there in time, or the ball just popping out and then rolling over to the left field over there on the grass. Pitch wide on the lefty at the plate, the designated hitter, Billisey. Runner at third base with 2 down. The X team up. We're in the top of the fourth. Pitch delivered. 3-1 the count as that goes wide of the plate on the designated hitter. The X team have scored at least 1 in every inning so far, but nothing yet here in the fourth. 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third. Next pitch, that's upstairs. Back-to-back walks as Billisey will head to first base with 2 outs. So runners at the corners right now for the X team, and that'll bring up Devin Mila. Oh my goodness, I just realized I'm on the wrong side of my scoreboard here. I flipped it over to do some stats, and I'm sorry, I just noticed, as thank goodness our PA, our public address announcer, is heads up, as it's the Iguanas at the plate, pop up right side, squeezed in, and that will be out number 3. I'll straighten it up here as I was on the wrong side of my scoreboard, and no runs have crossed the plate. We're in the bottom of the third, heading to the top of the fourth with the X team leading. So you're listening to the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League. The law offices of Thompson and Thomas will fight for you to get the compensation that you deserve. Vehicle accidents, personal injury, real estate, workers' compensation, and more. Thompson and Thomas will have you covered. Thompson and Thomas will fight for you like family, treating your case with the specialized care we would want for their own. For top-level and caring attorneys, Thompson and Thomas has you covered. For a free consultation today, go to tntlegal.com. Welcome back. Now we are in the top of the fourth. And now it's the X team at the plate. We're squared away. Iguanas did not score in the bottom of the third. So we now have Michael Arnold. It'll be Arnold, Harrison, and Feebles at the plate for the X team, all due up. Next pitch, and this is hit on the ground. A couple of hops into the glove of Hernandez. Throw to first. It's in time, and Arnold is retired as he grounds out to short. That'll bring up Hayden Harrison, the right fielder. Doubled, scored a run back in the second. Here comes the pitch, and that's a strike delivered. First pitch to Harrison. Nothing in one inside, barely missing the left elbow of Harrison. So 1-1 is the count. Butler kicks, delivers, low and away. 2 balls and a strike to Harrison. I really need my whiteout today. That's on the shopping list. As the ball is hit up in the air, a pop-up that stays by home plate, the catcher. Lopez calls for it, and he'll squeeze it into his glove. Good job by Lopez. As Harrison is retired, as he pops up to the catcher. There's 2 down. That'll bring up Austin Feebles, the second baseman. Sacrifice bunt back in the second. Righty-righty matchup. Setting up at the chest, then delivering. That's away. 1 ball and no strikes here to Feebles. Tuesday morning action here in the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League. We've got a breeze out in left field. Wish we had a breeze here in the press box as that ball whizzes by inside on the second baseman for the X team. Taking a look at the flag out in right field. It's blowing out there right to left, inside and missing. We're not the only team that is playing this morning around the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League. Top of the fourth in Boynton Beach, and the Blaze lead the Buccaneers 1-0. Here comes the pitch. There's a strike. Catches right at the knees on Feebles. 4-1 here in West Palm Beach. The Iguanas Down by 3, swing foul tip, strike on Feebles. Top of the third in Coconut Creek, that's the Diamond Ducks. We've got 2 Coconut Creek teams as the X team is here facing the Iguanas, but the Palm Beach Extreme are leading 3-1 in the top of the third against the Coconut Creek Diamonds. Starting soon, the Boca Raton Beach Boys are playing the West Boca Snappers at Bert Aronson Park. They'll be underway soon. In Pompano Park, the Palm Beach Garden Matadors are facing off against the Pompano Beach Wave. Patient at the plate, Feebles takes ball 4. He'll head to first base with 2 outs. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Joey Billisey. Today at 4 o'clock, well, the Miami Gardens Makos will be in Hialeah. The Hialeah Gardens Lions, they will face off at 4 o'clock. Diving back to first base, throw going down, not in time. Feebles back safely to first. And then tonight, the night game at 6:30 first pitch at North Broward Prep. The Delray Beach Lightning will face off against Fort Lauderdale, the Hooks. Throw down to second, runner going, kind of stalls on the base pass, but somehow slides in under the tag. I don't think Feebles had a very good jump. And it actually kind of stalled a little bit. Like it looked like he slowed down before he got to second, before he slid in. But he was able to slide in under the tag there, so he's safe at second. Here comes the pitch. That'll go out of play to the right side. Next pitch, that's tapped to the left side. Incoming, the third baseman for the Iguanas on the run. Gets with a nice throw over to Bentley, and he will get the designated hitter, Billisey, out at first base. So a great play. That was a slow ground ball. Getz had to come in on the grass and on the run, make a throw off balance to first in time, and he did a great job doing that. So the ground out ends things, leaves one stranded, and we will head to the bottom of the fourth here from Kaiser University and Sylvester Field. The X team leads over the Iguanas. You're listening to the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League. There's nothing better than leaving the ballpark to get some cold beers, hot chicken wings, and great times with friends and family. The Duck Tavern has been whipping it up for the South Florida community for years and now is the official local restaurant of the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League. We aren't sure what's more impressive, the 110 different beers from around the world or the 20% off for all South Florida Collegiate Baseball League athletes, staff, and family. Get at the Duck all season, located at 5901 North Federal Highway. Come on in for good food and good vibes at the Duck Tavern. And we're back here. It is a postcard day in paradise in South Florida. Beautiful blue skies, white fluffy clouds, and lots of sunshine. And if you like it hot, this is the place to be. Where else could you be besides, the ballpark? This early in the day, first pitch that'll miss on Getz. Getz, Lopez, Rodriguez, Pozo due up here for the Iguanas in the bottom of the fourth, swing and a miss. Gets struck out back in the first. Morrison, starting pitcher for Coconut Creek, has struck out 2 Iguana batters here today. Next pitch coming back into the screen behind home plate. Morrison, through 3 innings, has allowed 2 hits, a run. It's an earned run, has walked 4, and we mentioned struck out 2. One of the 2 being Getz here at the plate. Off the end of the bat to the right side, that'll fly out of play. I like to park close here to the diamond. We've got a lot of equipment to unload and bring in, but I always make sure, because so many of these balls get hit right behind us to the right and left side, and you don't want to park too close to the backstop here. I've seen a few balls that have found cars right behind us. So luckily I parked far enough down, I'm sure. Swing and a miss, and Getz strikes out for the second time today. Third strikeout for Morrison. That'll bring up Juan Lopez, the catcher. He walked, stole a base, and scored a run in the second. The 1 run on the board for the Iguanas. X team leading by 3, 4-1. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Open stance, here comes the pitch. That'll knock away from the catcher, and there's 1 ball and a strike on Lopez. Here comes the next pitch, swing and a miss. 1 away, Rodriguez Pozo is on deck for the Iguanas. He hit the ball hard, but lined out. This ball is hit up in the air to the left side, way back, way, and that has cleared the fence. Mila and Discala both on the run all the way to the track, and all they can do is watch that ball fly. So Juan Lopez unloads, and Iguanas are now just down by 2, as it is a 2-4 ball game. So a big, important home run off the bat of Juan Gonzalez. Short fence in left field. That's the place to hit it. Right now, there is no breeze. The flag is not blowing, but it was blowing earlier right to left. So that also helps the balls fly out on the left side.
Now batting,
Lorenzo Rodriguez Pozo lined out to center back in the second. Bats from the left side. 2 balls, no strikes. Solid bat at the plate. Here comes the pitch. That'll miss upstairs, so he's got 3 balls on him. Next pitch, he'll take strike number 1, so 3-1 here on Rodriguez Pozo. He'll foul it out of play. The count goes full. Pozo came into this game batting .438. As the next pitch misses, and Lorenzo will head to first base. So a 1-out walk. That'll bring up Holton Bentley. Bentley, the second baseman, struck out back in the second, so he's 0 for 1 here today. The team leader with home runs was Arnold coming into this game with just 1 homer. So with 1 swing of the bat, Juan Lopez has tied the team lead in homers, as he has a homer here in today's ball game. Or actually, let me check that. 2 home runs for Freeman that leads the team. 1 for Peluso, 1 for Rodriguez, and 1 for Hernandez. So Lopez joining that crowd, tied for 1 and second on the team for the Iguanas. One down, Rodriguez Pozo at first, Bentley at the plate, batting from the left side. Struck out his first trip up, pitch delivered. That'll miss away. Morrison from the stretch, sets at the chest and then delivers inside. On the X team side, a lot of these players have actually played together in travel baseball with the X team. The X team has teams all the way down to the youth level, and the pitch is inside strike. So even though the players, 2-1 count here on Bentley, play at different colleges or even different high school teams, they have played together, quite a few of them, on the X team in travel baseball during the high school season. Now back together here in the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League. Rodriguez Pozo taking a big jump at first, pitch delivered. 3-1 is the count to Bentley. Next pitch, runner going, throw going down to second base. Shortstop places the tag on Lorenzo, and he's out at second. Right on the money, Arnold throws to second base. And the tag applied, so 2 down here for the Iguanas. Bentley at the plate with a full count. The payoff pitch, swing and a miss, tipped in into the glove of Arnold, the catcher, and that'll retire the side for the Iguanas. But West Palm Beach picks up 1 run off the bat of Juan Lopez, who hits the solo shot over the left field wall. You're listening to the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League with the X team leading 4-2 over the Iguanas. Homeowners of South Florida, the 5 boroughs of New York and New Jersey, we have the one-stop shop for all of your home remodeling needs with GMNO Construction. GMNO specializes in kitchens, bathrooms, and complete remodels, and now home construction. Call 973-315-7411 for a free quote today. GMNO Construction, proud partner of the SFCBL, that's the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League. And our game sponsor today is MD Now. And welcome back. You're listening to the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League, our broadcast here today. Game of the day with the Iguanas welcoming in the X team. They've been welcoming him too well, though, as the Iguanas are down by 2. X team leading 2-4. We are in the top of the 5th. Pitch delivered, and looks like the hitter was hit by a pitch. And that's number 21, the left fielder, Devin Mila. So Mila heading down to first base. He was hit by a pitch. We're back up to the order for the X team, and it's Chris Descala. Pitch delivered. That'll go wide of the plate on the lefty. Descala is 0 for 2 today. Grounded out to second and then grounded out to first in the third. Throw to first base, checking the runner over there. Safe though still at first is Mila. Throw down to second base, runner going, sliding in safely. Still Lopez throwing right on the money, but a quick jump by Mila and he's safe at second base. Both teams aggressive on the base pass, both like to run. Picking up quite a few stolen bases, but also getting caught stealing a few times too. Strong throws by the catcher. Here comes the 1-1, and that catches the outside part of the plate on the lefty. So 1 ball and 2 strikes on Descala. Butler, through 4 innings, has allowed 5 hits, 4 runs, 1 earned, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. Here comes the pitch, and that'll miss low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Descala. Looking the runner back at second. Big jump there at second base. Here comes the pitch. That'll be fouled out of, or to the left side. Ground ball over towards the bullpen. Knocks off the fence. So that's Mila at second taking the jumps. He was hit by a pitch. Descala being worked on right now by Butler. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Umpire's trying to work it out a little bit. We're going to keeping it 2-2, I believe. So runner at second, no outs. Descala at the plate. Butler looks the runner back, then delivers the pitch. It'll go low and away, so the count now going full on Descala. Here comes the pitch, and that'll be fouled off the backstop. Next pitch inside, that'll miss. So Descala will walk, head to first base. That'll bring up the third baseman, Rocco Rovetto. Rovetto is 2 for 2 today with a single and a double and has scored 2 runs. We've got a new pitcher on the hill for the Iguanas as the throw or the pitch is delivered. Gets away from the catcher, Lopez. That'll advance Mila to third base, but that keeps Descala at first. So runners at the corners now with no outs for the X team. So just added to the roster and new pitcher in here this inning for West Palm Beach is Zach Robinson. Two to 4 ball game in favor of the visiting Coconut Creek X team. The X team scored 2 in the first, 1 in the second, and 1 more in the third. Working on run number 5 with the runner at third base right now in Mila. No outs, but Robinson, the new pitcher, in on the hill, working on the batter, throw down to second base, and that's cut off by the shortstop on the grass with the runner at third. Descala sneaks in safely to second. Now both runners in scoring position. Rovetto at the plate here for the X team. Rovetto with the high socks, solid black, goes after the pitch, loops it up, it'll go foul, just to the left of the chalk line out there in left field. Here comes the pitch, and another one slapped just past the head coach for the X team, Dusty Snyder. Puts out a hand, but doesn't snag it in, and that's a foul ball. Another foul ball, 2 on in scoring position for the X team. That's Mila at third, Scala at second. Rivetto still being worked on by Robinson. Will take the next pitch. That misses low and inside, so 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here on the number 2 hitter for the X team, who is a perfect 2 for 2 today. Fly ball lifted into center field, taken by Nunez. Throw going to third base. That'll be a sacrifice fly as Mila easily scores. So Rivetto, sacrifice fly to center field, drives in Mila, and gives the X team another run on the board, and Descala stays at second base as the throw coming into third base. So 1 away, and now it's a 5-2 ball game in favor of the visiting X team. That'll bring up John Scott Bishop. Bishop, 1 for 2 as he swings and misses, and sliding into third base is Descala. Went on the jump. Bishop trying to protect him by swinging, and Descala safe at third base. Bishop doubled, scored a run in the first, another swing and a miss. Struck out in the third, but it was a drop third strike, and made it safely to first base. Here comes the pitch, and a foul tip. That'll keep Bishop alive at the plate. He's got 2 strikes on him. 0-2. 1 out, top of the 5th. X team leading 5-2. Next pitch, that'll miss low and away. Bishop's not having anything to do with it and lays off of it. Next pitch, and that'll miss inside. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bishop, after quickly getting 2 strikes on him, is patient here at the plate and gets a couple of balls. So the count now even at 2 apiece. Runner at third base, only 1 out. Here comes the pitch, and that'll hit Bishop. So a breaking ball that just kept going inside and hits Bishop square on the back as he tries to spin away. The X team will have runners at the corners right now with Josiah Haslam, the first baseman, coming up to the plate. Quick little meeting on the mound. Infield going in and talking things over with the pitcher. Jake Malloy, an assistant here for the Iguanas and also an assistant coach for Kaiser University. Head coach for the Iguanas is Rick Wolfer. Wolfer coaches out of Deerfield High School. Talking a little bit to the head coach for the Iguanas before the game. He talked about really how the roster is full of players coming right out of high school, getting used to playing, in this type of atmosphere, learning what kind of routine that they need to have as a collegiate baseball player, and also players that just didn't get a lot of time this past college season. About 60% are in the portal looking for another team also. So runners at the corners right now at first and third with one out. Haslam at the plate. First pitch, and that'll miss away as Lopez fakes to throw to second, and Bishop easily gets to second base in scoring position for the X team because Lopez has got to watch the runner at third base, so he didn't want to make the throw down to second. Only one out. Haslam takes the next pitch. It's a strike right at the knees. With this being the Kaiser home field and the Iguanas having a lot of Kaiser players on their team, it's a great opportunity for those incoming freshmen to really get used to this home field that they'll be playing on. And it's the first team, too, that I saw so far. I've been talking to the other teams around the league, the few games that we've done, and a lot of it's show and go is what they say. They show up and they play. But here, the Iguanas showed up early and got some early work in as Robinson goes too far inside on Haslam, and he will hit Haslam on the shoulder on the back, and Haslam will walk to first base. So back-to-back hit batters along with Descala, who walked in between a sacrifice fly to bring in a run, and the bases are loaded now for Braden Potter, the extra hitter in the lineup for the X team. Potter has a hit today and a ground out. He's 1-2. Here comes the pitch, and that's low and inside. But the Iguanas getting here early, getting early work in, working also in the bullpen with the coaches and getting their, it's really, I'm talking to the coaches as this ball goes out of play to the left side. It's really helpful to not only develop, keep as far as like the fundamentals sharp, but also that it is really good to keep as far as physically fit and keep doing good arm care and things like that to keep everybody healthy. Pitch delivered as a strike. Some of these players coming from other teams in Kaiser, might not have played a lot, and they just might not have really kept up with arm care or other things to be as fit as they could because they weren't getting a lot of game action. So definitely helps as that ball is low and away on the lefty at the plate, to have this early work that the Iguanas did here today and often do. The one thing, too, talking to the players, that not only, just developing their skills inside, check swing doesn't go. Or maybe he did. So slowly back to the dugout, Potter will go. He can't believe that will be a strikeout, and it is for out number 2. That'll bring up Michael Arnold, the catcher for the X team. He's 0 for 2 today with a fly out and a ground out. So Robinson picking up his first strikeout, striking out Potter there after hitting 3 batters here in this inning and walking 1, allowing a run with a sacrifice fly. Pitch delivered to the righty at the plate. 0-1 on Arnold. But talking to the players, the other thing that they're really learning, picking up from the coaches, especially on the Iguana side, is just the mental approach to the game, which is really big too. One ball, one strike on Arnold, the catcher. Here comes the pitch. It will hit some dirt. 2-1 the count. Bases are loaded and there are 2 outs. The X team leads 5-2 as we're in the top of the 5th. Another quick meeting. Little conference call for the whole infield on the pitcher's mound. talking to Wolfer, he's like, we want to win here, but at the same time, it's the developing of the players. If we can help them, get the time that they need that they didn't get during their season or, just coming out of high school, then that's exactly what they want. They want everybody to get the at bats, the work, having for the players that are looking for another college, another team, for this fall, that they want to make sure everybody, the pitch delivered 2-2 the count, everybody is getting equal opportunity to excel here and show scouts, show other coaches. They need the at bats, they need the time in the field. Winning kind of comes hand in hand when you can do all that too, as the count is full now. But that's the main goal, and that's the main goal really of the players here in the league too. That pitch will miss low, nowhere to put Arnold, and so a run will be walked in as Descala crosses the plate. The bases continue to be loaded for Hayden Harrison, the right fielder. Every runner advances a station as Arnold has walked. Looks like we'll have a new pitcher as the head coach for the Iguanas. Rick Wolfer goes out to the mound. So we'll take a quick break right here. We want to remind you that MD Now is our game sponsor here in the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League. And in the top of the fifth, the X team continues to lead 5-2 over the Iguanas. There are 2 outs and bases loaded. We'll let you know who the new pitcher is right after this short timeout. Welcome back. The new pitcher on the hill is the righty Corey Jordan. Jordan for the Iguanas out of Boca Raton, Florida. 6'4", 170, the senior from Kaiser University. He's coming in with a bases loaded situation. 2 outs. Pitch delivered strike as it catches the outside edge of the plate. Hayden Harrison, the right fielder, at the plate for the X team. They kick the pitch and the curveball. That'll just miss upstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike on Harrison. The right fielder is 1 for 2 today as he slaps this one foul. Doubled back in the second, scored a run, then popped up to the catcher back in the fourth. Slight breeze out in right field. It has the flags blowing in right. Here comes the pitch, and there's a swing, foul tip, or drop by the catcher. Swing and a miss, though. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We can see that slight breeze as I look to my right out the windows and see some of the palm trees moving and the umbrellas over the picnic tables here have a little breeze underneath them. Here comes the pitch. Strike three call. Just catches the outside part of the plate right at the knees of the right fielder Harrison, and he'll be retired as Corey Jordan came in to slam the door on the X team with the bases loaded. 2 runs, though, picked up by the X team, and they lead 5-2 as we head to the bottom of the 5th for the Iguanas. It'll be Hernandez, Nunez, and Colon due up. You're listening to the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League. Athletes, you're looking to take your game to the next level. Barwis Arm Farm has the tools to give specialized training to professional athletes all the way down to little leaguers. Professional and Olympic athletes train with Mike Barwis and his staff because they know that they'll receive the most advanced, scientifically based, holistic, and cutting-edge athletic training. Prepare to achieve the uncommon. Go to barwis.com to book a tour and check out the training programs that they offer. Welcome back for the Iguanas. Hernandez, Nunez, and Colon due up this inning. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Strike delivered by the new pitcher, the righty Nico Gutierrez for the X team. Gutierrez out of Miami, Florida, the sophomore from Miami-Dade College. 6 foot 205. Next pitch, that'll sail away. Strike delivered. So the Iguanas have scored 2 today, but the X team has 6 on the board. Palm Beach, West Palm Beach, 4 down from Coconut Creek. The Iguanas scored 1 in the 2nd and 1 in the 4th. Hernandez, base hit back in the 2nd. A 1-for-1 day for the shortstop. Wind really blowing in right field right now. Swing and a miss, and that'll do it as the new pitcher Gutierrez picks up his first strikeout today as he gets Hernandez to swing and miss. That'll bring up the center fielder, Santiago Nunez. Nunez singled his 1 trip up to the plate so far. That was back in the 3rd, so he's 1 for 1. He'll bat to the left side, and you can see that breeze coming in from right field on the lefty here as he moved to the right side of the box. Pitch delivered strike. His jersey is just flapping with the wind. So a nice little breeze that the players are feeling right now. as it blows on in, and the fans as the wind's blowing towards the fan area. Foul tip, 0-2 on Nunez. We've got windows that are blocking the breeze for us, so we don't feel it at all here in the press box. Next pitch, and that'll go out of play. On the ground to the right side, waiting on it is Feeble's second baseman. Quick throw to first in time, and Nunez is retired as he grounds out to second. There's two away, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Henry Colon Jr. He's 0 for 1 today with a ground out. So the book's been closed on Morrison through 4 innings. He's allowed 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 5 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Pitch delivered, strike to Colon. Another lefty at the plate. Likes to wiggle his solid black bat as he holds it up high by his gray helmet. Going inside on the lefty is Gutierrez. He'll miss. 2-1 is the count. Next pitch, that'll go low inside. 3-1. Yellow batting gloves matching the Iguanas' yellow on their jerseys. Foul tip. Count going full on the right fielder. I can see in his left back pocket he's got his sliding mitt, and that's yellow too. That's bounced off. That'll go to the right side. Colon liking to wear his pants all the way down, showing no socks. Here comes the payoff pitch. Righty lefty. Hard hit, one hopper backhanded by Haslam. At first, he'll touch the bag, and that'll retire the side. So the Iguanas go down in order 1, 2, 3, come up empty here in the 5th, have 2 runs, but the X team has 6 on the board, 6-2, leading by 4 as we head to the top of the 6th here from West Palm Beach, Florida. You're listening to the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League. Netting professionals will improve the quality of your facility equipment. They have L screens, batting cages, turf, netting, and so much more to take care of your athletic facility needs. Trusted by Division I athletic programs, thank you to Netting Professionals for taking care of the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League and our family. Welcome back. Top of the sixth. The X team leads 6-2. First up, it's the second baseman, Austin Feebles, and then it's the designated hitter, Billisey, and then Mila, the left fielder. All due up here for the X team. First pitch strike, righty-righty matchup. Jordan on the hill. He delivers next pitch. That'll go low. Corey Jordan came in relief of Robinson back in the fifth. Bases loaded, and he struck out the right fielder, Harrison, as Harrison was window shopping and got caught looking. The X team was able to pick up one run, though, in the sixth. They've picked up at least one run in every inning but the fourth. Next pitch, ground ball, that'll go foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jordan sets, kicks, delivers, and that ball will go low and away and kicks back into the backstop as it gets away from Lopez, too. 2 balls and 2 strikes on the second baseman for the X team. Solid black bat, likes to wiggle. It shines, too, here in the sunshine with the gold label. Swing and a miss, though, and Feebles will go down swinging. There's 1 away. Second strikeout for Jordan. He has faced 2 batters, and he has 2 strikeouts. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Joey Billisey. Billisey today is 0 for 2 with 2 ground outs. Steps into the box. Jordan delivers. There's a strike. Catches the outside part of the plate. So we've got plenty of action around the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League already this morning. And are we in the afternoon yet? Pop-up, right side, going after it in foul territory is Bentley as he rolls, does almost a log roll as trying to dive for the ball. Comes up empty. Got a little bit of leather on it, but that was a tough play. So we haven't hit the afternoon yet. 11:44 here at Kaiser University in West Palm Beach, Florida. I'm sure it's plenty early for some of the families and friends that are listening in other time zones around the country. It was probably a much earlier wake-up call than I even had here today, as we had a 10 o'clock start. First pitch. Could have been 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock for others. So you really were getting your coffee, your donuts, bagels, whatever you eat in the morning, really having that breakfast meal for this game here today. We're coming upon lunchtime, though, here in sunny South Florida. Billisey at the plate, looking for the pitch that he likes. So the other teams that are playing around the league early, like us in Coconut Creek, the Diamond Ducks down by 6. Pitch delivered inside, that'll miss. As the Extreme are in town, the Extreme up 7-1. They're in the bottom of the 4th. Bottom of the 6th, it's the battle of the Blazers and the Buccaneers. Blazers are on top at Harry Gribben Field, 5-1. Bottom of the 6th, hit by a pitch. Billisey will head to first base. That'll bring up Devin Mila. Mila is 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch back in the 5th. 1 on, 1 out. Mila at the plate. Bottom of the 2nd in Pompano Park, rather. And it's a 1-1 ball game between the Palm Beach Gardens Matadors. As the pitch delivered gets away from Lopez. And that'll advance Billisey to second base. 1 ball, no strikes here on Mila. So a 1-1 ball game between the Matadors and the Wave in Pompano. Top of the 3rd. Another 1-1 ball game at Bert Aronson Park. The Beach Boys are in town to play the Snappers. And then later today, 4 o'clock, Miami Gardens. That's the Makos. They'll be headed to Hialeah Gardens to face the Lions. And at 6:30 at North Broward Prep, the Lightning will face off against the Hooks. 2 balls and a strike to Mila. Wind really blowing right now, right to left as I watch the flag in right field. Runner in scoring position for the X team. Just 1 out. Pitch delivered. Strike. Throw down to second base. Trying to catch the runner. That's Billisey off the bag. He had to quickly get back. Takes off his helmet. Wipes off the sweat. Whew. He's happy he's back at second base safely. 2-2 is the count to the hitter in the box. Wiggling that black bat. Here comes the pitch. Upstairs missing. Count goes full. X team scored 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, and 2 more in the fifth for those 6 runs that they have here today. Tap and foul left side over by the dugout and bullpen of the home Iguanas. X team almost batted around last inning. Helped by 3 hit batters, pair of walks, and a sacrifice fly. Here comes the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. And a third strikeout picked up by Jordan in just 1 inning of work. X team back up to the top of the order. Chris Descala, the center fielder, will step in. He'll bat from the left side. His 2-tone bat, blue on the top, natural on the handles. He's got one of the prettiest bats on the team.
Now batting number 23, Chris Descala.
He wears his pants down low, but you can see the black stocks just sneaking out between his spikes and the bottom of his pants, his gray pants that are now pretty much the color of dirt. Here comes the pitch, and that'll be a pop-up. Left side, racing forward is the shortstop, but also racing in is Rodriguez Pozo. He'll make the grab, running all the way to the wall. It's a wall, a fence that juts out because the bullpen is over there by the left field line. He played it well, made the grab, and that'll do it for the X team as they leave 1 stranded. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on base. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th here at Kaiser University, Sylvester Junior Field in West Palm Beach, Florida, and the X team leads 6-2. You're listening to the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League. Welcome back. We are in the top of the sixth and back up to the top of the order for the Iguanas. They're down by four, 2-6 ball game in favor of the X team. First pitch, ground ball off the bat of Freeman. He'll race to first base, but not in time, and Freeman is retired as he grounds out.
Now for the Iguanas, number 16, Jorge Romero.
That'll bring up the second baseman, Jorge Romero. Romero has been on base twice today, and he's walked both times. Has a stolen base to go along with it. Rodriguez on deck for the Iguanas. Gutierrez in his second inning of work. First pitch, that'll go low and away on the lefty at the plate. One ball, one strike now to Romero. They kick the pitch and jammed inside. That'll be a grounder to second. Easy play by the second baseman for Coconut Creek. And Romero is retired as he grounds out.
Now batting, number 17,
Two ground outs for the Iguanas. And that'll bring up the designated hitter, David Rodriguez. Rodriguez has flied out to right, both trips up to the plate. First pitch strike, so 0-1 on Rodriguez. Iguanas won their last game 12-2 over the Makos. Weak ground ball taken by Haslam at first. He'll step on the bag in time. And the Iguanas are retired in order 1, 2, 3. All three ground outs. So once again, the X team leading 6-2 as we head to the top of the seventh here from West Palm Beach, Florida. MD Now is our game sponsor here today for the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League. Welcome back. We're in the top of the seventh here in West Palm Beach, Florida. First pitch strike delivered by Jordan to Rocco Ravetto, the third baseman for the X team. Ravetto, Bishop, Haslam all due up here for Coconut Creek in the seventh. Big curveball, and that'll miss as Ravetto dips down and ducks out of the way. One ball and one strike. Jordan came in relief, struck out a batter with the bases loaded. That was Harrison in the fifth. Then worked a complete inning in the sixth. So he's going on his third inning, but second full inning of work here in the seventh. The pitch pop up, that'll go out of play over into that parking area that I made sure my car was definitely out of the way. Rivetto is 2 for 2 today with a sacrifice fly. He's driven in a run and scored a couple himself. Next pitch, that'll go wide and away from Lopez hitting the backstop. Full count to the batter, Rivetto. Rivetto batting 263. On deck is Bishop. Jordan delivers, and that'll go away on the righty, too. So a leadoff walk for the X team, and that'll bring up the shortstop, John Scott Bishop. Bishop is 1 for 2 today. Doubled, scored a run. Struck out in the third, but made it to first on a drop third strike, and then was hit by a pitch in the fifth. Bishop batting .318 so far this season. Likes to put the bat on his right shoulder. Pitch delivered, throw down to second base, and Rossetto is out trying to steal second. Good throw by Lopez. Nice tag applied. And even with all the dust and the smoke screen, Rivetto rather, out at second base. He's caked in dirt as he walks off the field. Pitch delivered, breaking ball, waiting on it is Bishop, but he fouls it off. He saw it the whole way, nothing much he could do with it as he committed to it. His bat's three-toned in a way. He's got the turquoise top, the blue there, and then black on the handle, but then also he's got some tape on it. It turns a little white. He's got all three colors of the X team. Swing and a miss for out number 2. And Jordan picks up another strikeout. I believe that's his 4th strikeout of the day as he came in relief for Robinson back in the 5th. Josiah Haslam is at the plate. Righty-righty matchup, pitch delivered, and that catches the outside edge of the plate. Haslam shaking his head a little bit. Wow. He's got to be able, he's a big, tall guy. He's got to be able to dip down and get those pitches. This time he's checking. He's trying to go after that pitch out of the zone, and he doesn't, so 1-1 the count. Haslam's batting .250 on the season. I believe he's 1 for 2 today. He was hit by a pitch back in the 5th. 2 balls and 2 strikes on the first baseman. Fly ball going into right field. Looking up, and Colon Jr. brings it on in for out number 3. So even with the walk, 1, 2, 3, down go the X team, and for the second inning in a row, they've been held scoreless. Still, though, the X team leading 6-2 as we head to the bottom of the 7th here in West Palm Beach, Florida. You're listening to the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League, sponsored today by MD Now. First pitch delivered to Alex Getz, and he swings and misses. Gutierrez remains on the hill for Coconut Creek. He's in his third inning of work. Gutierrez sets at the belt from the stretch. The kick, the pitch, inside strike. 0-2 on Getz. Getz has struck out both times that he's come to the plate, and both times swinging. 0 for 2 here today, and that ball has some movement that even the catcher, Arnold, was caught off guard. It looked like it was going to the outside part of the plate and then quickly just curved back in. That was a nasty pitch by Gutierrez. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch off the end of the bat. The barrel of the bat that's green, matching the Iguanas jersey, pop up, and that'll go into foul territory, but Haslam has it the whole way, and he makes the grab just short of the track, the gravel track over there by the dugout for the visiting team. So there's 1 away, and that brings up the catcher, Juan Lopez. Lopez walked and scored a run and then hit a home run his last trip up. This time he goes after the first pitch, pops it up, and Gutierrez, the pitcher, he decides to call everybody off and make the play. Usually everybody's calling the pitcher off, but he saw it the whole way, and Lopez pops up to the pitcher. Quickly, there are 2 outs, and that'll bring up the left fielder, Lorenzo Rodriguez Pozo. Rodriguez Pozo lined out in the second, walked in the fourth. Inside as Lorenzo pops out of the way. Righty-lefty matchup. Pitch delivered, that'll go away. Mentioned before that Rodriguez Pozo, he likes to take his bat, his black bat, and just drop it all the way down his left shoulder. And as he awaits the pitch, strike delivered, he wiggles that bat, so basically it's hitting his back. That's the way he's timing up the pitches, and then he gets set as quickly as possible, brings the bat back, and his hands ready to hit in the zone. Pitch delivered inside, that'll miss. 3-1 the count. Next pitch inside, and Pozo, very patient at the plate, picks up his second walk of the day. So with 2 outs, the Iguanas have a runner at first, and that'll bring up Holton Bentley. Bentley has struck out twice here today, both times swinging. The second baseman looks like he has some new batting gloves. Bright white. It's not easy to keep things white here on the diamond. Pitch delivered, strike inside to the lefty. It's easy to get dirty at the ballpark. Not easy to stay clean. Inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Just taking a look at the third baseman right now for the X team. Boy, he's just caked in dirt from about chest high all the way down his pants to his spikes. You can't tell as much since he's got his black socks, solid black socks pulled all the way up to his knees, but I'm sure they've got dirt on him too. Here's the 2-1. Pitch inside, that'll miss. 3 balls and a strike here to Bentley. Iguanas looking to put some more runs on the board. They're down by 4. Pitch delivered, ground ball, and Haslam says, whoa, look what I got, as he went to his right, and just the ball went like a magnet into his glove. And then he raced back to first base to get to the bag before Bentley. So Bentley grounds out to the first baseman, and that'll do it here in the 7th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We go to the 8th inning with the X team still leading 6-2. You're listening to the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League. And we're back here in the top of the 8th inning. The Iguanas down by 4, the home team. They're losing 6-2 to the X team, the visiting Coconut Creek team. Though the X team hasn't scored any runs in the last couple of innings, Corey Jordan has held them scoreless. First pitch, swing and a miss to Braden Potter, the extra hitter here today for the X team. Potter 1 for 3, batting .296 on this season. Here comes the next pitch. He lifts it up into right field. That'll drop in for a base hit. He'll pick up his second hit of the ball game. So a leadoff hit for the X team here in the 8th. That's the first hit allowed, I believe, by Jordan. Jordan has 4 strikeouts, has walked 1, hit 1 batter, but that's the first hit he's allowed. And then he'll bring up Michael Arnold, the catcher. Arnold hitless today, pitch delivered. That'll miss inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Arnold flied out, grounded out. Was on the base pass in the 5th as he walked. And this time he'll head to first as he gets hit on the left shoulder. He turns away from it, but the ball just chases him, and Arnold advances to first. Potter moves his station to second. That'll bring up the right fielder, Hayden Harrison. Harrison has 1 hit on the ball game. He's 1 for 3. Scored a run. He's batting .267. The X team, in the last 10 games, they're 3-5, coming in with a loss as they last played at Boynton Beach, the Buccaneers, and lost 8-5. That was just yesterday, just last night. 1 ball and no strikes to the righty at the plate, Harrison. Coconut Creek was winning that game 2-0 until the 5th and 6th. They allowed 4 runs in the 5th and 2 in the 6th to the Bucks. Foul ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Bishop and Haslam both had good games at the plate. Bishop led off, or not led off, but his first at bat, he doubled here today. Yesterday he went 2 for 5 with a run and a ribby. 2 balls and a strike here to Harrison. Haslam had a hit last night and drove in 2. Jordan, a couple of times, looks over to second. The runner, he's going and protecting the plate, Harrison, as he knocks this ball foul left side. That'll return Arnold back to second. He had a big jump there, and Jordan knew that he wanted to go. He looked back quite a few times at the runner. Arnold at first, Potter at second. Here comes the pitch, and that'll go wide of the plate. Fastball that just skirts away, so the count goes full on Harrison. There goes the runners, and the throw down to third base. Tag applied, not in time, as it's up high, and the runner slides underneath. And actually, it looks like that is a walk that will advance everybody anyways. Potter at third, Arnold at second, Harrison at first. Brief conference on the hill between the infielders, pitcher-catcher. Austin Feebles will come to the plate. Sacrifice bunt, walk, and a strikeout. Hasn't had a hit yet here today. Batting .125. Looking to up that average. He'll dig into the box. Crouches down into the stance, holds his hands up high with the black bat, and the ball is pitched inside. Breaking ball that catches the strike zone, so 0-1 on the second baseman. Here comes the pitch. This ball is up in the air, but that will hook foul over on the left side. Clears the bullpen area too for the home team. No balls and 2 strikes here on Feebles. Bases loaded, nowhere to put the second baseman. Here comes the 0-2, and there's a swing and a miss as Jordan goes right after Feebles and gets him. Picks up his 5th strikeout of the game as he came in relief, the 3rd pitcher for the West Palm Beach Iguanas. Bases still loaded. The designated hitter, Joey Billisey, steps up to the plate. Pitch delivered inside, curveball strike, right at the letters. Billisey is 0 for 2, has driven in a run, was hit by a pitch back in the 6th, so he's been on the base pass. Batting 154, another breaking ball. He scoops it up, goes to the third baseman who goes home with the throw. Out called, ball drop, but it was after the play, so he is out at third base, getting the force out at third. So the bases continue to be loaded as Devin Mila will come to the plate, the left fielder. The left fielder grounded out, was hit by a pitch, scored a run, and then struck out. 2 away as Potter is gunned out at home as the ball is thrown over the crouching down Mila at the plate. Arnold at third, Harrison at second, Billisey at first base. X team leads 6-2. They're 2 outs. Number 10 hitter at the plate. Swing and a miss. The X team have not scored in the last couple of innings. Jordan has not allowed a run. Here comes the pitch, swing, a tapper. That'll go down the third base line, but foul. That ball was coming in. Mila got jammed over the top of it. He swung, and that ball just dribbled down the third base line. Luckily, that was going to be a little trouble there as the catcher, Lopez, went after it. Pitcher 2 went foul. At the same time, there's a runner at third base. Base is loaded, so still a play to be made if needed. The runner would be caught up there, Arnold, with that play. So that'll return Mila back to the box. 1 ball and 2 strikes on the hitter. The pitch, and that'll miss low and away. 2-2 is the count. Wind blowing right to left, sometimes in right field. Here comes the next pitch. That'll sail away on the righty at the plate, and now the count is full on Mila. Descala, the leadoff hitter for the X team, is on deck. There is nowhere to put the left fielder right now. Full count, runners going, swing and a miss. And Jordan picks up another strikeout. Make it 6 on the day for Corey Jordan. And he gets the strikeout when he needs it the most with the bases loaded. Boy, that's not the first strikeout that he has picked up either with the bases loaded. He comes through when there are men on base. So the X team come up empty here in the 8th. No runs. 1 hit, no errors, and 3 men left on base. we head to the home half of the eighth. For the Iguanas, it'll be 8, 9, and 10. Hernandez, Nunez, and Colon will take a short time out here, but you're listening to the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League 6-2, the X Team lead here in West Palm Beach, Florida. Welcome back. We're in the bottom of the eighth, 6-2, X Team leading the Iguanas. First up for the Iguanas, it's Alan Hernandez, the shortstop. Gutierrez remains on the hill, goes inside missing, so 1 ball and no strikes to Hernandez. Hernandez 1 for 2 today with a ribby. He's batting .250 on the season. Next pitch, breaking ball, that'll miss upstairs. Here comes the 2-0. That'll miss low and away. Gutierrez, coming into this game, was tied for second on the team with strikeouts, 6. He's only added 1 more strikeout here today, and he's in his 4th inning of work. Pitch delivered, strike. Just as we're talking about strikeouts. 3-1, though, is the count to Hernandez. Next pitch, that'll miss low and away, and Gutierrez misses and loses Hernandez, who will head to first base with the free pass. That'll bring up the center fielder, Santiago Nunez. Nunez is 1 for 2 today. 158 hitter, first pitch strike at the lefty. Singled in the 3rd, then grounded out in the 5th. One on, no outs. Going after the next pitch, and he'll hit it out of play left side. No balls and 2 strikes to Nunez. Gutierrez, after a deep breath, delivers the next pitch, swing and a miss into the glove of Arnold, and Nunez goes down swinging. And Gutierrez picks up then his 2nd strikeout of the ball game, his 8th this season. He's inching toward the team leader in strikeouts, Lopez, who has 11. Another lefty at the plate. Henry Colon Jr. steps in, goes after the first pitch, knocks it foul, hits the backstop. 0-1 on the right fielder. Colon hitless, 0 for 2 today. Looking to get his average above 100. One on for the Iguanas. 1 away, next pitch inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Swing and a miss. 1-2 the count. The Iguanas only have 3 hits today. One off the bat of Lopez. That was a solo shot over the left field wall, and Hernandez and Nunez both have hits. Next pitch outside, so 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here on the number 10 hitter for the Iguanas, Colon Jr. Next pitch, and that'll go way out of the zone and low. So full count to Colon Jr. Gutierrez already led off this inning by walking Hernandez, struck out Nunez, but now he has a full count here on Colon Jr. Next pitch, and that ball's hit out of play left side. Got a little more of the plate, and Henry was not letting that one. Gonna ring him up. Gutierrez setting at the belt from the stretch, delivers the payoff pitch. Once again, that ball will sail out of play. Nice breeze out in right field. Continuing to blow in right now. Sometimes the flags show it blowing right to left, sometimes in. Inside, strike called at the belt. So Colon Jr. will go down looking. Little window shopping there, and Gutierrez back-to-back strikeouts after walking Hernandez. Strikes out Nunez swinging, then gets Colon looking. Back up to the top of the order. Trey Freeman will step up to the plate. He's the extra hitter. Takes first pitch, 1 ball, no strikes. Freeman hitless today, batting .320. He's one of the better hitters on the team, too. He has 2 homers on the season, leads the team with homers and ribbies, 10 on the season. Nice .320 average. Takes strike, so 2-1 the count. I talked to Trey before the game, and he said he loves baseball so much. His parents got him involved when he was little, and he has just loved the game forever, really. And he said that his birthday was recently. They played a doubleheader, and there was no place else that he would rather be than playing baseball on his birthday. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Inside on Freeman, that might even hit him right there. At least he's throwing his bat and everything else away, so it does, and he'll head to first base. Hernandez to second. So 2 away. Jorge Romero, the second baseman, will step into the box. He'll bat from the left side. 2 walks and a ground out today for Romero. Inside, 1 ball and no strikes on Romero. Inside again, low, 2-0. When talking to Trey, I was asking him, he loves baseball so much. He's from the Tampa area, played for Plant High School. They almost won state. Lost to Stoneman Douglas in the state championship, but of course his favorite team is the Rays. Ben Zobrist, favorite player growing up. I was talking to him. I figured he's been to many games and wondered what game really stuck out for him, or anything really cool happened at a game that he went to. And he was able to go to the game where, if you remember, Brett Phillips, his walk-off, that he just ended up like an airplane running around or flying around the field. That memory, that visualization of that game. That was a lucky game for him to be at. I asked him. I didn't even think anyone was at that game. I was trying to remember. And he said that was a limited ticket, limited amount of fans were allowed to go, and he was lucky to be there. That was in Arlington. This pitch delivered. It hits the shoelaces of Romero. He'll take off his gear, and he will head to first base. So the bases are loaded now for the Iguanas. The tying run is at the plate right now here in David Rodriguez, the designated hitter. He's 0 for 3 today. Yesterday, he went 2 for 4, scored a run, drove in 3, hit a homer. That's what the Iguanas need here today. He's batting .348. Pitch delivered, that'll miss low and away. Rodriguez is second on the team with ribbies. We talked about Freeman leading with 10. He's got 9. 1 ball and 1 strike to Rodriguez. So the tying run here at the plate in Rodriguez with 2 outs and the bases loaded in the bottom of the 8th. Nowhere to put him. He can push 1 run across, but the Iguanas would probably like to add a couple more to that. They're down by 4. Here comes the 2-1. It's over the heart of the plate. Rodriguez swings, pops it up into the glove of Bishop, and it was right there for him, but he just got right on top of it, and Rodriguez pops up into the glove of Bishop at short, and that'll leave 3 stranded for the Iguanas. No runs, no hits, no errors, 3 left on, and we'll go to the top of the 9th here from West Palm Beach, Florida. 2-6. The Iguanas are down by 4 as the X team is leading from Coconut Creek. You're listening to the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League. Get your baseball gear through the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League Mizuno storefront, located on the homepage of the SFCBL website. You can find Mizuno wooden bats, gloves, batting gloves, and catcher's gear at a discount rate. Mizuno has the best baseball equipment in the game. Make sure you take advantage of this special offer. And we're back. The top of the 9th inning. Iguanas down by 4. 6-2. X team leading at the plate. Descala, and he'll show bunt, pull it back. New pitcher on the hill for the West Palm Beach Iguanas is Dylan Burton. Burton, a righty on the hill. He's coming in the 9th for the Iguanas. He'll face 1, 2, and 3 in the lineup for the X team. Next pitch delivered, strike, 1-1 the count. One ball and 2 strikes to Descala. The center fielder is 0 for 3 today with a walk, scored a run. Swing and a miss. He won't be getting on the base paths here. As Burton comes in and retires Descala, swinging and missing. That'll bring up the third baseman, Rocco Rovetto. Rovetto is 2 for 2 with a sac fly and a walk. He has scored a couple and has driven in one. 263 hitter takes the first pitch. 1 ball and no strikes. Here comes the next pitch, and that's upstairs. So 2-0 is the count to Rovetto. Burton sets at the belt, takes a deep breath, kicks and delivers. That one will miss at the letters, but inside. 3 balls and no strikes to Rovetto. Making 3-1 to the third baseman. Rovetto has 2 hits along with Potter, the only 2 batters in the lineup that have 2 hits here today. Next pitch, and Rovetto takes till walk, ball 4 to first base. So 1 away, 1 on. That'll bring up the shortstop, John Scott Bishop. Bishop is 1 for 3, scored a run. He's batting .304. Righty-righty matchup. The glove of Burton matches the barrel of the bat of Bishop. Both blue. One ball and no strikes. Pitch delivered, pop up. That'll stay in the infield. Burton's calling for some help, and in comes Getz on the grass, and he'll make the grab. So 2 now down. Rovetto remains at first base. That'll bring up the first baseman, Josiah Haslam. Haslam 0 for 2 today. Hit by a pitch, and a couple of errors allowed him on the base paths. Takes first pitch, 1 ball, no strikes. Sun splash day here at Kaiser University at Sylvester Junior Field. I don't think the sun has ever dipped behind any of these clouds enough. Our press box, our booth here, started off in full sunshine, and slowly as the sun has moved, we're now in the shade. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner aboard for the X team. The Iguanas down by 4. X team leading 6-2 as we're in the top of the 9th. Pitch delivered, hit on the ground. Couple of hops, hits the glove of Getz. He looks into his glove, thought he had it, but instead it flares out into left. And so now Rovetto is at second, Haslam at first base. That looked like a play that Getz should make, and I think he really thought that it was in his glove too. You take a look at it, and it was like, oh, where did that ball go? Well, it went out to deflect it off his glove out into left field. 2 on at first and second for the extra hitter, Braden Potter. Potter 2 for 4 today. Base hit in the first, grounded out, then struck out, and a single to right back in the 8th. That single was the first hit allowed by the reliever Corey Jordan, and here he places another hit into right field. 1 run across the plate here for the X team, and everybody advances a station in on the throw, and even Potter advances to second base. So Potter singles to right and drives in another run, the 7th of the ball game for the X team. Haslam now at third base, so both runners, Potter and Haslam, in scoring position for Michael Arnold, the catcher.
Now batting, Michael Arnold.
Arnold is 0 for 1 today. He's driven in 2. Walked and was hit by a pitch. Pitch delivered, and that's a strike. Righty-righty matchup, 2 away. But the X team has 2 aboard, and they have scored 1 run, their 7th of the ball game. There's a fly ball into center field. Camping underneath it is Nunez. He'll bring it in, and that's out number 3. So the X team leave 2 stranded, 1 run, 1 hit, an error, and 2 left on. We'll head to the bottom of the 9th, now down by 5 as the X team leads 7-2 over the Iguanas. First up for the Iguanas, well, it'll be 4, 5, and 6. Getz, Lopez, and Rodriguez Pozo, the heart of the order for the Iguanas. You're listening to the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League. Welcome back. We're in the bottom of the 9th here in sunny South Florida in West Palm Beach, Florida, at Sylvester Junior Field, home of the Kaiser University Seahawks. Also home to the West Palm Beach Iguanas. The Iguanas down by 5, 7-2 ball game in favor of the X team from Coconut Creek. Getz, Lopez, and Rodriguez Pozo due up. Getz at the plate, takes first pitch strike. Delivered by the new pitcher, a lefty, Xavier Dominich. Dominich from Southwest Ranches, Florida, 6'2", 215. Freshman out of Loyola University, New Orleans. Next pitch, that'll miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Iguanas scored 1 run in the 2nd and 1 in the 4th. Off the end of the bat to the right side, ground ball. Nicely fielded by the first base coach for the Iguanas. Looks like that's Jake Malloy out there. Next pitch, that'll go into the screen. Foul ball, right side. So the Iguanas in the 2nd. Lopez was walked with 2 outs. Hernandez singled. And 1 run crossed the plate in the 2nd for the Iguanas. In the 4th, the Iguanas picked up their 2nd run off the bat of Lopez. Solo shot over the left field wall. This ball off the end of the bat to the right side, going opposite in foul territory. Haslam is there as he backpedals by the line, going down into right field. He'll make the grab. Haslam has been doing a really good job fielding at first base, especially those pop-ups in foul territory. He really sees the ball well off the bat and gets underneath, whether they're close to the dugout or down the line. But he knows where he's at, and he's able to make those catches, and he does as he retires gets here. One down, that'll bring up Juan Lopez, the catcher. Here comes the pitch, and Lopez takes upstairs outside. He has scored 2 runs for the Iguanas, the only 2 runs. They're looking to put another on the board. He's waiting for the good pitch that he wants, and not sure about that one. He lays off of it, breaking ball right at the letters for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike on Lopez. On deck is Rodriguez Pozo. Another breaking ball, and it hits the outside part of the plate as Lopez takes strike number 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Lopez. The 1-2, that hits the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We have 4 games that we are live streaming for you this week. This is game number 2. Tomorrow, we'll head to Spanish River High School. Full count now on Rodriguez. 6 o'clock first pitch. West Palm Beach Snappers at the Palm Beach Extreme. So that'll be on Wednesday. We've got another game on Friday. We'll take Thursday off. Outside part of the plate, that'll just miss. And with 1 out, Lopez is heading to first base with the walk. And that'll bring up the left fielder, Lorenzo Rodriguez Pozo. Lorenzo is 0 for 1 today with 2 walks. So on Friday, that'll be our 4th live stream broadcast of the week. That'll be from Lilac Park in Palm Beach Gardens as the Delray Beach Lightning head to the Palm Beach Gardens Matadors at Lilac Park. 6 p.m. first pitch. So tomorrow at 6 p.m., Snappers at Extreme, and then Friday, Lightning at Matadors at 6 p.m. We hope you join us here on the broadcast for the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League. We're happy to have all family, friends, fans all tuning in today. I know it was an early start, 10 a.m. here on the East Coast. Early for everybody, whether you're tuning in from your home, from work, the car. Here comes the pitch. Slap foul left side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Rodriguez Pozo. Mentioned earlier how I talked to him, and I'm sure he's glad to be sweating here as some of the games that he has had to play up in Baltimore have been very cold. When you start early up north, you know you're going to run into some cold weather. Layers it up about 3 layers, does a lot of jumping jacks, especially in the outfield. That ball will get away from the catcher. It's low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Rodriguez Pozo. And the wild pitch advances Lopez to second base. Two and 2 is the count with 1 out. Slightly open stance. Lorenzo has bat up high, but behind his back. Pitch missing, hits the dirt, away on the lefty at the plate. Full count to the left fielder. Lopez in scoring position. He's got a giant lead at second base. Pitcher looks, delivers, ground ball on the run. Rivetto making the grab, throwing to first on the run, and catching the speedy Rodriguez Pozo at first base. So now there's 2 away here for the Iguanas in the 9th. Nice play by the third baseman, Rivetto. He had to make the throw on the run, and he knew that Lorenzo was speedy down the baseline. Holton Bentley at the plate, lefty in the box. First pitch strike. Iguanas down to their last out. 7-2, the X team leading here. Next pitch, breaking ball, strike at the letters. No balls and 2 strikes. Lopez at third base right now. He just wants to come in so bad. Bentley waiting for the pitch to drive him in. Here it comes, and instead, wild pitch. And there goes Lopez. He'll cross the plate standing. He has scored all 3 runs here today for the Iguanas. An error drove him in the second. A home run he drove in himself in the fourth. And a wild pitch here drives in Lopez again. So the 3 runs on the board have all been scored by Juan Lopez, the catcher for the Iguanas. Bentley fouling the ball off as the Iguanas down to their last strike here. Coconut Creek leading 7-3 in the bottom of the 9th. Lefty on the hill, sets at the belt, kicks and delivers, and he'll hit Bentley. He actually hits him as the ball goes behind his back and hits the back of the second baseman. So with 2 outs, Bentley heads to first base, and the Iguanas send another batter to the plate. It's the shortstop, Alan Hernandez. Here comes the pitch at the letter strike. Wind blowing in right field. Iguanas down by 4. Runner at first, 2 outs. No balls and a strike. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike number 2. And now the Iguanas are down to their last strike again. Hernandez. 1 for 2 here today. One for 3. I think he's 1 for 2 with the walk, but next pitch, that'll miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Next up for the Iguanas tomorrow, they'll be at Boca Raton Blazers in Boca Raton, 6 o'clock, first pitch at Little Fenway. That's a fun ballpark to play in. Next pitch, called third strike on the shortstop Hernandez, and that is how the game will end here today as Xavier Dominich delivers the strike on the outside part of the plate to the righty and freezes Hernandez to get the 3rd out and leaves 1 stranded. Bentley at first base for the Iguanas. The Iguanas pick up 3 runs but fall short as they lose 7-3 here today against the Coconut Creek X team. We'll take a quick look at the totals here today and be right back with you. You're listening to the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League. Welcome back. You're listening to the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League, sponsored today by MD Now. The totals on today's contest, well, 7 hits, 7 runs for the Coconut Creek X team. No errors on the board. The Palm Beach Iguanas, 3 hits, 3 runs have crossed the plate here today with 2 errors. So a 7-3 win for the X team. As we look at the box score here today for the X team, 2 for 2 day for Rivetto, and he scored 3 runs, drove in 1. 3 for 5 day for Potter as he drove in 1 run. And those were the big bats in the lineup. Driving in 2 was Arnold. Didn't pick up a hit, but he drove in 2 runs here today. On the mound for Coconut Creek, well, Morrison, 4 innings of work. He allowed 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned, walked 5, struck out 4. Gutierrez came in, and boy, 4 innings of work, no hits, no runs, couple of walks, struck out 3. So I think he's inching up to be the team leader in strikeouts right now. So Gutierrez, he's got 9 strikeouts on the season, still trying to catch up to Lopez with 11. Then for the Iguanas, 1 for 2 with a home run and scoring all 3 runs of the ball game for the Iguanas is Lopez. So he was 1 for 2, home run, scored 3, drove in 1. Hernandez picked up a base hit, and so did Nunez, and that's all the hits that the Iguanas had here today. On the hill, Butler started the game, gave up 4, well, in 4 and 2/3 innings, I believe it was 4 innings, gave up 5 hits, 4 runs, walked 1, struck out 1. It was Corey Jordan, though, who came in relief. He was the third pitcher of the day for the West Palm Beach Iguanas. He pitched 3 1/3 innings, allowed only 1 hit, no runs, and struck out 6. So 6 strikeouts and 3 1/3 innings. What a day for Jordan on the hill for the Iguanas. Definitely a bright spot, along with Juan Lopez, who had the home run and scored all 3 runs of the ball game. So the Iguanas now fall to 2-10 overall, 2-8 here in the North Division. And the Coconut Creek X team, well, they're 4-5 overall, 3-4 in their division in the South. Next up for the X team, they will play the Hialeah Gardens Lions tomorrow at 11 a.m. So today was 10 a.m. first pitch. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. That's at Westland Gardens Park in Hialeah Gardens. So they'll face the Lions at 11 a.m. For the Iguanas, next up, they'll play tomorrow at Boca Raton, Blazers. First pitch 6 p.m. They'll have a little more rest then. They get to play in the evening at Little Fenway. That's in Boca Raton, Florida. That's a fun ballpark to play in, too. But for now, for today, once again, 7 hits, 7 runs for the X team, 3 hits, 3 runs for the Iguanas. And Coconut Creek, the X team, take the game here today from West Palm Beach, Florida at Kaiser University. The Seahawks play here at Sylvester Junior Field, so they fall 3-7 to the X team. Thank you so much for joining me here today, Lisa Pride, alongside Jacob Kelly, who made sure that we were on air the whole game and sounding and looking good. We appreciate you tuning in to the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League. We will be back on the air for another game tomorrow. It will be a 6 o'clock first pitch, West Palm Beach Snappers at the Palm Beach Extreme, and we'll be coming live from Spanish River High School. So we will see you then, and thank you so much for joining us here today. Once again, the X team wins 7-3 over the Iguanas.